All right, so we spent today in class, or the last couple days in class, talking about how to solve inequalities and graph their solutions. Today we are going to look at some types of problems where there are special kinds of solutions. So solutions that don't work out quite the same way we expect them to. Let's start by looking at two specific examples. So if we look at this first example, if I wanted to solve this inequality, I would start by distributing. When I distribute, I get 14x minus 3, and I'm going to drop down the 14x plus 5 and the less than symbol. Now, in order to continue solving, I would subtract 14x on both sides. When I do that, something unusual happens. The 14x cancels on the left side, and it cancels on the right side. So I am left with just 5 is less than negative 3. When that happens, when all of the variables canceled, we know we have a very special kind of solution. What we have to do is look at our final answer here, which says that 5 is smaller than negative 3. And we have to decide if that's a true statement or a false statement. In this case, because the number 5 is not actually smaller than the number negative 3, we would say that this problem has no solution. Because this is not true. If we look at a second example here, again, we would start by distributing. When we would distribute, we get 12x minus 6, and we would drop down the 12x minus 1 and the greater than symbol. Once again, we would try to get the variables to be together, and we would subtract 12x on both sides. And once again, something unusual would happen. The 12x cancels on both sides, which means my answer here would be negative 1 is bigger than negative 6. Because all the variables canceled, we know we have a very special kind of solution here. Just like in the previous problem, we're going to try to decide if this is true or false. Now, negative 1 is bigger than negative 6 because it's less negativer. So this is actually a true statement, which means our answer here would be all real numbers. So let's try some problems. For each of these problems, we're going to write the words no solution or all real numbers only if necessary. In problems that you can solve just like normal, you don't ever need to write those words in your final answer. So let's take a look at number 1. If we start solving number 1, we would distribute the 5, which would give us 5m plus 25, and we would drop everything else down. So is less than 5m plus 17. Then we would subtract 5m on both sides. And that would give us a 5m canceling on both sides. As soon as I see that my variables canceled, I know that I'm in for a special kind of solution. Now what I have left is 25 is less than 17. So we need to ask ourselves, is this true or false? Is 25 really less than 17? We would say this is not true. So because this is not true, we would say that our answer is that there is no solution to this problem. In problem number 2, again, we would start by distributing, this time on the right-hand side. So we would get negative 8s plus 4. On the other side, we would just drop down the 1 minus 8s and the less than or equal to symbol. Once again, we would get the variables together. So we would add 8s on both sides, and that's when I notice something unusual happens. The variables are going to cancel on both sides of this equation. So as soon as I see that the variables canceled, I know that I'm going to have a special kind of solution. I would have 1 is less than or equal to 4. Well, we have to decide if that's true or not. Since the number 1 really is less than the number 4, it's not equal to, but you could be either one. You could be less than or you could be equal to, and you would still be okay. This is a true statement, which means we would write the words all real numbers as our final answer. That's it for today. We are going to come to class tomorrow and practice this some more. I look forward to working with you. Thank you so much for watching the video. Have a great night.